How's it, guys? Hope everyone is doing well. Today's video is going to be talking about these little contraptions on my Mini 2 controller, and these are called Cine Sticks, made by ScottyMakesStuff. So ScottyMakesStuff is a company that makes kind of mods for different camera gear and Osmo Pockets, and I'm not super familiar with the company, but I saw these being advertised and I felt like I had to give it a go because I always fly my drones more on the cinematic side, and I always wonder why they don't make things a little bit more throttled back and slower and a little bit more easy to fly cinematically. And I saw these being advertised and I just thought, gotta try them. This is exactly what I'm kind of talking about. Maybe not looking like this, maybe something more designed or a redesign of the remotes by the companies like DJI or Atort, maybe offering a cinematic type alternative remote. But regardless, these things are essentially little rubber joysticks that you screw down and it provides more resistance. So you can unscrew them counterclockwise and that will lessen the resistance, or you can screw them down and get a tighter seal and this gives you more resistance. So what I can do is show you, I'm going to unpinch this and screw counterclockwise and remove it so you can see what they look like. And then let me see. I believe I'm unscrewing it completely. And this is what we have. So essentially all they are is this little joystick, little black piece that covers this piece of rubber, probably 3D molded or something, I'm not sure. Goes in like that. When you receive them, you want to make certain the screw is sticking out like this. They come in two lengths, regular and a longer one. I got the regular. I did ask when I was ordering, I said I'd do a review if you want to throw in the longer ones just to have some kind of comparison. ScottyMakesStuff or their people said they declined. They're not interested right now, but regardless, no big deal. I did pay for these, totally worth the whatever they were, $30. I received them probably in a couple weeks from Australia, so not a big deal. But all you do, you receive this box essentially, so a little box, you get instructions, and you get this little set of adapters, which I'm not even sure what they're for. These were the other sticks that I had on this remote. But what it says is simply attaching to the controller. The Cine Sticks attach to the controller in the same way that normal joysticks do. So it says make sure the attachment bolt is sticking out like this image, so like that. And it said if the bolt isn't, you pinch the neck and turn the knob. So essentially what you have to do is just turn the knob and get this to lengthen out. But everything is fine. And it says screw the Cine Stick on 3 clockwise revolutions. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this guy in. Oop. 1, 2, 3. And now you see how loose it is? I'm going to want to tighten this down clockwise and turn it clockwise until I get more resistance than what you're seeing here. See how loose that is? I want a really firm, resistant kind of control. So I'm going to keep on rotating this clockwise, and maybe you want to start out like this just to play it safe and then go and increase your resistance. But somewhere like this is maybe even a little bit more for me. But the amount of control you have with these guys, from what I've flown so far, a few batteries, if you saw the footage in the opening sequence of me flying through the sidewalk, I felt like I had a huge amount of control and precision flying with these things because it was just preventing me from making big abrupt movements. And throwing this into a cine mode or tripod mode, honestly, they do work. To me, thumbs up. They totally are worth 30 bucks to have in your tool bag, even if you don't have them on all the time. If you really feel you need a little extra safety or precision while flying, throw these things on. Who cares what they look like? Like Scotty said in a response to one of my YouTube comments, it's not always the best looking guy that gets the girl, it's the one that makes her happy. And honestly, these things kind of make me happy because it does allow a lot more precision with my movements. And when you're going and doing something, it just seems easier and more effective. So thumbs up for me, $30 well spent. But what else is there to know about these? I mean, really, they're pretty simplistic. But you do want to be conscious when they're on that sometimes it may not be in a neutral position. So you want to really be mindful and watch your drone when you're letting off the stick to make sure there isn't any movement going up and down or forward. You want to make sure that these things aren't locking the stick because they're so firm that they're not locking it into a little non-neutral position. So just be conscious and mindful of that. And in order to get less resistance, all you do is pinch right below the black and then screw this thing counterclockwise. And that will raise this piece up, and then you just simply lift up a little bit, and then there we go. Less resistance, not so extreme. We want more, simply turn counterclockwise and get more resistance back by pressing this down. So they kind of look like little plungers, but at the same time, super cool. This is for my Mini 2. So I got my Mini 2 here. This is the Mini 2 remote. But at the same time, this works obviously for the Mavic Air 2 remote, which is the same, the Air 2S remote. This will work for the smart controller. I believe it will work for the Matrice smart controller. And I am not sure. I think they're coming out with adapters. It won't work on my Mavic 2 Zoom or 2 Pro controller. But I would imagine if they go over well, he'll make adapters and modifications for the other remotes. I would really hope that DJI and Autel would offer some kind of cinematic remote that gives you some kind of resistance built in. I think that would be a cool feature in the progression of drone flying, because again, a lot of people aren't just mapping and doing more technical work. They want to fly really smoothly, so why not have a remote designed to have that ability to fly smoother and have a little bit more resistance, and maybe the stick movement isn't as extreme. And it may be cheating in a way, but who cares if you're getting the job done and getting really beautiful cinematic movements out of it. So that's a little suggestion to the drone world, the DJI, Autels, and anyone else out there. And what else is there? So again, these Cine Sticks, I got the regular size, and that's what I would suggest getting in the beginning, because I don't think you would want anything that much higher personally. To me, this is the perfect height. The regular pair sold for $25. I believe it was just under $33 with shipping. It took a couple weeks from Australia to get these, so no big deal. But again, to have in your drone bag is just an option, is something that I would recommend getting, because they're really cool and it does work. So I don't know if I like the fact that these rotate. Not a big deal. They seem to be fine. Maybe it actually is good, a little bit more forgiving when you're pinching. You know, maybe you have a little bit precision, kind of like a little throttle going back and forth, but I'm not sure about that. You guys can let me know what you think if you do get a pair. Maybe I'll try to give a pair away. So stay tuned and we'll go from there. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, if you think these things are totally goofy or you think there's something that you'd be into. And I have friends that have already said, kind of jokingly, what are you doing driving a crane or operating a crane with these things? And, you know, most people probably kind of joke about the way they look, but you know what? They fly really amazingly. If you can get 3 and 4 axis movements with better control and better precision, who cares? You know what? I'm going to be making more money if I get better movements, because that's just how it works. You keep on putting better stuff out there and better content out there with more precision flying and better movements and more cinematic kind of look. It's just going to come back to you. So Scotty Makes Stuff, Cine Sticks, regular. Check them out and subscribe, and woohoo, aloha.